certain YouTube platforms. I mean, God, even if my platform is making you feel like you need to buy more makeup all the time to feel satisfied, unsubscribe. Like, don't put yourself through that. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by if you're new, and welcome back if you're already a subscriber. My name's Crystal, and today we are going to go through how you can break your makeup buying spending habits. So if you are already a subscriber, you would know that I have quite a journey that I am documenting on my channel at the moment, where I used to spend copious amounts of money on makeup religiously, like every week, if not multiple times a week, getting new products that I honestly did not need. And it actually got to a point where it was essentially taking over my life. And I think there are a lot of people out there that actually are suffering the same way that I was. So I have decided to kind of document that for you guys, go through this journey with you. And one of my most recent videos was discussing my no buy intentions for this year, because I was on a no buy and I did really well, and then I came off the no buy and it was almost like a suppressed monster just came out of the forest, and it just completely engulfed me and I went back like 20 steps. So I know there are a lot of people out there that suffer the same way that I did with this kind of marketing, with this kind of beauty world that we now live in. So I thought I would go through a few things with you guys today on how to reduce your urges to buy makeup and all the new releases as they continuously are coming out. So before we jump into the video, do not forget to subscribe to my channel if you like this kind of content. I do stuff on beauty, fashion, fitness, and I am going to be getting into vlogging as well. So do not forget to subscribe if you like that sort of stuff. Also, don't forget to go and check me out on Instagram. My handles are on the screen for you guys to go and check me out over there. And without further ado, let's just get straight into the video. So I will be honest with you guys, I am doing this kind of unscripted. I normally try to prepare myself for videos like this, commentary sort of videos, but I am just more or less sharing my experience and things that have worked for me, because since the whole pandemic that we're all facing, it really has made me refocus where my money is going, how I'm spending it, what actually brings me happiness, and what is actually giving me a good return for that money as well. And quite frankly, unless makeup is your full-time job and you're a makeup artist, although I am one, unless you are a makeup artist, you're doing it like social media all the time, you are constantly reviewing new products, and it is at the heart of your everyday job, makeup doesn't really have a return. It's literally just a collector's piece. It's kind of like collecting toys in a way. Like, you know, when you're a kid and sometimes you all want to collect all of the Barbie dolls or all of the stamps or whatever, or the computer games, whatever, boy, girl, whoever, whatever it is that you enjoy collecting. Makeup has somehow made a transition from being an everyday item that you only need bits of and you only replenish bits of as you need it, to a collector's piece. And I know I hear a lot of people who do their makeup collection videos and stuff on YouTube. I've done it, I do it, and I will probably continue to do it, but they do say that makeup is what they like to spend their money on, it's what they like to collect. It's like this growing beast. And when you think about it, and I think what particularly sparked me wanting to film this video was I filmed a haul last year in, it was either November or December, I can't remember, everything's kind of a blur to me right now. I bought the Natasha Denona Glam palette, the Huda Beauty Naughty Nudes palette, the highlighter, the New Glow, or That Glow, whatever it is, that highlighter by Natasha Denona. I purchased all those items and I think I've used them all once, and since then I actually kind of completely forgot about them. I went away to our holiday destination that we go to every single year over the New Year's and Christmas break, and I honestly didn't even think twice about it when I was down there. Makeup didn't even cross my mind, not even for a second. Like, I wasn't doing my makeup unless I was going to an event. I wasn't focusing on doing it every single day. I basically glam up like I am today for you guys. Like, I didn't even wear this for New Year's Eve. Like, I honestly just didn't care, and the urges to purchase more things was not there. And the reason for that is, which is my number one tip, make sure that you remove yourself from all social media outlets that actually tell you to buy more makeup. Now, I like YouTube for the fact that there are lots of tips and tricks and stuff here as well that you can learn. So obviously there is a market here where people are telling you to buy more makeup, get a bigger collection, compare your collection to somebody else, or what people like, what people don't like. And I actually really appreciate that. I appreciate the reviews that are available, and I do think that that's great. I do think you do need to be selective though of what you do watch on YouTube. But I think the biggest perpetrator is actually Instagram. So things like Trend Mood, all the influencers that are on YouTube that do, like, look at my products that I've just recently got on Instagram. That's probably a big no-no, because I know for me, for example, when that Naughty Nudes palette came out, Huda Beauty released a statement that that's what their next product was going to be, and literally I saw it and went, oh my god, I want this right now. And if I hadn't seen that on Instagram, on her page, and then posted again on Trend Mood, I wouldn't have actually cared at all. And there are palettes from Huda that I don't really care for, and Huda is one of my favorite brands. Like, I absolutely adore that brand. But the effect of social media constantly pushing it out, and if you stop when you're scrolling, if you stop to even look at it, the algorithm knows that you've done that, so it's going to record that, and it's going to actually make sure that you see more of that product because it wants you to buy that product. So that's probably the biggest one, is mainly Instagram. I'm not on TikTok, so I can't speak for TikTok. I can't really speak for much else, but I know that if you actively remove yourself from emails, subscription emails, certain YouTube platforms, I mean, God, even if my platform is making you feel like you need to buy more makeup all the time to feel satisfied, unsubscribe. Like, don't put yourself through that. You don't need to deal with that. So if I put it to you like this, I did a calculation of how much money I spent on makeup prior to COVID, so the year beforehand, and like, let me tell you, I spent a lot of money. I spent something like $7,500 in that year on makeup, and I think about that, and that's pretty damn close to a Chanel handbag, a classic flap. So that makes me think to myself, wow, I would so much more prefer to have something like that, or I would so much more prefer to put that $7,500 towards my dream car, or towards a renovation in the house that I just purchased, or even put that money towards, I don't know, a sinking fund, or a rainy day fund, where if something happens like a pandemic and you need to rely on some money to back you up for a period of time, that money could be there to do that for you. And I mean, makeup's not going to be there to do that for you. Reality check. Makeup is not going to put food on the table. Makeup is not going to put the roof over your head, unless, like I said before, unless it is your job. But even then, like when I was functioning as a makeup artist just before COVID hit, like in full force, I actually had all my clients cancel on me for like months and months and months. I had like no work for ages because people weren't hiring me, and that is because my industry was directly affected by the pandemic. So you really do need to put into perspective things like that. And I don't know if it's an age thing. So I have recently turned 27. I'm not quite sure if this video is gonna be up before my birthday or after my birthday, but I have recently turned 27, and I feel like my priorities have just completely shifted. And I don't know if that's because I'm older, I'm more mature, I have other things, bigger things that are more important to me than having the latest collection. And I think one of the things that I did do, particularly the second half of last year and the beginning of this year, is that I actually wrote down all the things in life that I actually really wanted. And I'm not quite sure if you guys have seen other videos on my channel, but I actually did have a manifestation video on how to achieve your goals, how to manifest money into your life, things like that. So if you are interested in that sort of content, definitely check that out in the description box below. But one of my goals was to buy my first house, get a dog. I wanted to get a promotion at work, and then I also wanted to be on YouTube more frequently. So at the end of the day, I got most of those things. Having a house requires a lot of money to be saved. You need to come to the table with a lot of money, and I was actually able to save that money for that house a lot faster than I thought I would have, purely because my expendable cash was not being spent on makeup, on clothes, on shoes, on things that I needed. And that again comes on to the next thing that I want to talk about, is you really need to distinguish between needs and wants. Do you need another eyeshadow palette? And I know when I purchased the 2 eyeshadow palettes that I mentioned earlier in this video, the Natasha Denona and the Huda Beauty one, I actually got those palettes and then I wanted more, and I wanted more and more and more, and I went through that phase, that cycle where I just want eyeshadow palettes now. And I actually cannot tell you that I have ever gotten through an eyeshadow palette from beginning to end. I've never used a whole thing up entirely. I've always depotted it and then decluttered it and kept the shades I liked and then put it into a Z palette, and then I never really use them out of the Z palette anyway. So it's just to make me feel better. It's almost like donating your clothes to charity. It's because you don't want to put them in the bin. That's why you send it to charity, because you feel better about it. And it's like, it really isn't solving the problem of landfill. Like, do you get what I mean? And that again is another thing to think about. When you're purchasing makeup, how much of that makeup actually expires when you're using it, and then you realize and then you throw it away. So I know that makeup does have a 12-month expiration date. Realistically, are you meeting that expiration date? I know I'm not. I know a lot of my makeup ends up in my collection because it's expired out of my kit, and then I take it into my collection because I can't finish it in time. I can't get through 20 eyeshadow palettes in 12 months. If you can do that, please tell me your secret, because I know that I can't. So it again brings it back to that thing of landfill. If you aren't finishing the product, you're therefore putting yourself in a position of doing detrimental harm to yourself. And if you pursue using it and you do end up having a reaction, you're going to throw that product away. It's going to end up in landfill. How much of that is going to end up in landfill? How much of it is actually recyclable? How much of it is actually impacting our planet? So it's things like this that we really need to think about. And I think as individuals, we think so small. We think of just ourselves. We think of just our world and what we do, and out of sight, out of mind doesn't matter. And I think it is really important for us to think we are all in this together. Like, I know that we've all heard that like a million times this year, especially in Australia. That's like the slogan for everything. But it really is something that we need to put into perspective, because I don't know if it's going to affect my world in terms of having climate change impacts, the effects of waste, all that sort of stuff. I don't know if it's going to affect my world, but it might affect my children's world. And I really don't want that. So it's kind of putting all that into perspective and realizing we are being extremely selfish. Every single time we are purchasing more makeup, we are actually being more selfish if we don't have the room in our lives already to use it. So I have an extremely large amount of makeup. I don't have the biggest collection out there. I am a makeup artist, and sometimes I use that to justify my spending, and that again is a big no-no. I need to actually be very on top of what I use. So I am going to be doing a makeup collection video for you guys soon. My pro kit, I've consolidated it, so it's one of my most popular videos here on YouTube, is my pro makeup kit. I'm going to be consolidating that down because I actually don't want to encourage people that more is more, because it isn't always the case. Sometimes knowing the right products, trusting the right people to give you the reviews for products, looking at the professionals who know exactly what they're talking about, that is how you're going to curate a perfect makeup kit that you can use on your clients or on yourself, everything that you're going to need. And in the reality of things, who wears fake lashes every single day to work? I mean, I know I don't go full glam like this to work every single day. No, I mean, it's not the reality of it. And matter of fact, I barely wear makeup at all. Like I said, I only wear them for these videos that I film for you guys. So basically, rounding this up, you need to obviously have a reality check perspective. What do you actually need these products versus wanting these products? Remove social media that is actually triggering you. If it's a trigger, it's not worth your time. Also, think about the effects that you're having on landfill and around the world. So for me, I know that a thing that I like to do is I go through my collection regularly, and I don't go through it to look for decluttering things. I look for it to think how much product I actually have, and the fact of the matter that I don't actually really get through products. So it's really important for me to set goals, and I think that that's what you guys should do too. Set goals, think about what you need to do to be more sustainable. And I know that something that I'm going to try and do is consolidate my entire makeup collection into 2 drawers. So at the moment I have 4 drawers, and I want to halve it by the end of the year. That is my goal, and I really am looking forward to hoping to achieve that goal. My project pan is something that's going to help me achieve that goal, which I'm really stoked about. definitely follow me along that journey. The link to that video is going to be in the description below. But that's pretty much everything from me. It's kind of a rambling video. I don't know if I stayed entirely on track. So if you do have any questions, or if you do want any hints in terms of how I broke my spending habits and how you can control your makeup spending on new releases and whether you need them or whether you want them, so definitely let me know in the comments below if you want to have a discussion on that. But that's everything from me. Do not forget to subscribe before you go, and I hope you have a lovely day, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Thanks guys, bye.